Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 5.
5 o'clock on your Friday. You know what time it is. Mississippi Live Weather. Heading into that Friday forecast, looking like a good one. I'm meteorologist Gabe Maynard, joined alongside our chief meteorologist Matt Lopon. We are bringing in the holiday season with our Christmas parade coverage. Matt joining us live in Saltillo for the latest parade here with our North Mississippi parade coverage. Of course, Matt, cold conditions, but it was definitely a beautiful day in the area across North Mississippi.
Okay, cold might be overstating the case a little bit. It's cool. This is overkill. Honestly, I could have probably gone with a lighter jacket than this. I mean, come on, temperatures today around the 60-degree point. That's certainly making a difference to kind of help things out this afternoon and make it to where this evening we're in pretty good shape. You can see behind me here, the sign says it, if I can get a position right. We're in downtown Saltillo. Christmas parade here kicking off at 7 p.m. Because of a little change, typically they line up over at the Baptist Church. This time around, because of some construction going on over there, they're having to line everything up over at the high school. We'll check out some of those float entries come up during our 6 o'clock broadcast. Hey, but saying some hi to here. And looking high above us is the Mississippi Live Weather drone. This evening, they're kind of floating over top of the Saltillo area. Of course, beautiful downtown Saltillo there under these mostly clear skies. Again, expected to probably need to have a jacket this evening. Christmas parade, go get going at 7 p.m. I know we also have a parade, I think, in Water Valley tonight as well. So a lot of folks, again, bringing in this Christmas season. It's nice to see the conditions are a lot drier and clearer and calmer than they were a couple weeks ago when obviously we had a lot more in the way of rainfall that was causing some issues out there. But as you see the glow of the sunshine behind me here, is bringing it back down to ground level here. Continuing to, again, to be thankful to folks at MLM for sponsoring our coverage here of Mississippi Live Weather and all of our Christmas parades that we are checking out this evening. Those temperatures at this time coming in again, pretty good shape. But we expect then, because of that, it's a perfect forecast for parade this evening. But we do expect that a cool down for the weekend could get very chilly as we look toward the first part of next week. There's a limited chance for a few showers to go towards Saturday afternoon. We'll look in more detail at how that could play out here in just a couple of minutes. But this evening, we reference those temperatures. It's 58 degrees right now. It feels like 58. Our dew point coming in at about 45. So a sign that we do have some room there to drop, but we're a little more humid than typically has been the case recently on what was certainly a milder sort of day. That temperature up, I went right past it. Gabe, you're going to have to give me a back arrow on that. Apologize for that, as I'm in a hurry to try to get to the beautiful part of the forecast there. But as you can see, we're 58 right now, New Albany. I referenced Water Valley a minute ago, coming to about 57 at this instant. Grenada, 56. 57 for Greenwood, 55 in Amory, and about 61 in the Starkville area. Okay, now here's that first 12, looking at the hour by hour. So 53 by 6 p.m., not warm, but not as cold as maybe we could be. Coming in 44 by 9, 39 look toward midnight, 37 degrees by 3 o'clock in the morning. Somewhere in mid-30s again for early tomorrow with much chillier forecast on the way as we head in the latter part of the weekend. But when we look at the regional area, you can see that front kind of draped over top of us here. Hey, attached to a low pressure center. Not much in the way of precipitation with that, but that is going to bring the cooler air. There's just a lot colder air behind it because there's a secondary front. And that's when we go from, it's a little cooler to, that's really kind of chilly. Gabe will have that forecast. Could be talking about some teens. Not even possible to have some low teens out there for wind chill temperatures behind that when that fully settles into the region. You'll want to see what that looks like city by city coming up here in a couple minutes. But futurecast this evening, keeping only a few thin clouds in the forecast as that front kind of slides through. It keeps any more meaningful moisture south of us. We're looking past midnight tonight, again, with mostly dry and clear conditions. Now, we referenced a chance for a couple of showers. You can see some moisture trying to come at us from down there closer to the Gulf of Mexico down there. A lot more moisture that way than what we have up closer to this secondary front. I think the overall takeaway is we will be clear as we go into tomorrow because of that, at least to begin the day, with chances for moisture eventually starting to pick up a little bit more. But as you can see there, it probably takes late in the day before that happens. We're at around 10 to 20%. Southern part of the area in particular, most likely to see some impacts related to that there under what should be, again, increasing clouds behind that secondary front, decreasing temperatures, really largely the storyline there. I guess one of the questions going along with that, is how much do those temperatures decrease? Again, we are here in Saltillo this evening with what are beautiful skies and conditions. We do anticipate again that we will probably have some rainfall that I think for a brief period of time could be an impact, but much, much more likely to have the big drop in temperatures there be something that really kind of messes you up. Well, the very latest of that with our meteorologist Gabe Maynard coming up here live as Mississippi weather continues here at 60 seconds from the Room to Room Weather Center.
Give the gift of a delicious burger from Bulldog Burger, a soup and sandwich from Sweet Pepper's Deli, appetizers and cocktails from The Grill, or even a wood-fired steak from Harvey's. Choice is the perfect gift. An all-in-one gift card from Eat With Us.
Enjoy your home for the holidays with store-wide savings at Room to Room. 50% off, 48-month special financing, and as our gift to you, a free accessory buyer's card. There's something here for everyone, including gift cards. Merry Christmas from Room to Room Tupelo.
As a bankruptcy firm, Mitchell, Cunningham, and Bowling realizes many people are worried about their finances. We're here to guide you through the next steps to restart your life with easy video appointments. New clients don't have to leave home to get information about becoming debt-free. Also, convenient in-office appointments are available at the low cost of $340 upfront for a Chapter 13. You can be on your way to being debt-free. Contact Mitchell, Cunningham, and Bowling today or visit our website at mcdebtfree.com. We are here to help you.
Right now, from the Room to Room Weather Center, here's meteorologist Gabe Maynard.
Another beautiful night across the Magnolia State, especially in the northern half of the Magnolia State, and temperature-wise, as perfect as it's going to be for this time of year. Still 61 degrees in Cleveland heading into that 5 o'clock hour. Dew point around 54, so as Matt was talking about, a little bit higher than where things have been, and that's just because of that warming trend that is gradually heading into our Friday, but not going to last for long as we cool off heading into that extended pattern. Macon, Noxubee County, a beautiful sunset there as well. 64 degrees, so slightly warmer the further south we go, but this is definitely a gorgeous forecast, and we posted some of those sunsets yesterday. Expect those sunsets to be in full force once again tonight. So submit those pictures, Mississippi Live Weather app, and we'll work those into the forecast as well. We want to see what you guys see, and you guys always do a phenomenal job when it comes to our sky coverage. So as we get a look there in Saltillo, we know that those roadways going to be a bit busier tonight, especially getting off of Highway 45 and onto Mobile Street there in downtown Saltillo. A great looking view, and temperatures again perfect, 57 degrees right now with those dew points in the mid-40s. So temperatures, they're going to drop, but definitely not like what we'll see heading into this weekend. Our Mississippi Live Weather radar staying with those dry conditions, so no chance of rainfall in our forecast tonight. Minimal chances by Saturday, but that's the best chance of any rainfall heading into the next several days. So our weekend staying mostly dry, and we'll break that down here in just a moment. I want to now talk about temperatures. And as you can see, pretty warm across North Mississippi. As we highlight in a few of those numbers, we're seeing upper 50s still north of Highway 82, and along and south of that point, we're in the low to potentially mid 60s in some spots. Guys, that is a forecast that we have not experienced in quite some time with how cold the start of this December pattern has been. But as we expand things out, the colder air is not too far away. We're going to see low 40s Bowling Green, Kentucky, 59 around Little Rock, 36 Springfield, and 41 around Wichita. I'm showing you that because that's going to be our forecast heading into our Saturday. But then we get into Sunday. Have to expand it out a little bit more. And as you can see, we're talking into the teens in Iowa. And yes, teens are a realistic possibility getting into our Sunday evening into Monday morning forecast. Fortunately, we're not talking negative 10 degrees like folks in northern Minnesota are seeing. That's where we're grateful to live in the Magnolia State. That just is almost an impossibility, but still a cold forecast heading into the latter part of this weekend. So enjoy today, to say the least, but also have those layers ready heading into that pattern because it's definitely going to catch you by surprise. It's going to be that cold. Parade planner tonight stays clear across North Mississippi, 58 degrees by 5, 53 by 6, and then 48 degrees by 7 once that Saltillo parade gets going. So still have those layers. It is a bit warmer right now than where things have sat, but as we get into that nighttime forecast, of course, those temperatures start to cool off, and that's where we'll see enough of a cool down to where we need some layers on standby. So as we keep that forecast going, of course, Futurecast, the thing that we're really paying attention to in this extended pattern, this is on your Friday evening, extending into your Saturday morning, end of the work week, ending on a high note with those warmer temperatures. But those clear conditions also highlighting that forecast. Northerly winds still in our area. It's going to make for some breezier conditions, maybe dropping those feels like values to maybe a degree or two, but not a significant impact when it comes to those wind gusts. By 2 a.m., still with those mostly clear conditions, honestly clear conditions by that point, and that continues into the start of our Saturday as well. So not expecting any rainfall or anything close to it, not even much cloud cover. So low temperatures heading out the door Saturday morning. If you're waking up this early, I hope you get to sleep in a little bit. 32 degrees along the Tennessee state line, work our way south with 34 in Bruce, 34 in New Albany, and 34 Hamilton, Alabama. We keep working our way south, and we're going to be in the mid to upper 30s in the Golden Triangle, with the low 40s making all the way towards Belzona and Greenville. So when we factor in that wind chill, like I said, not paying too much of an impact to our forecast, and we're going to be right around that same margin that we just talked about. So, you know, it's been a while since I've been in the studio on a Friday, so I got to take these out. But yeah, no Saturday school here in North Mississippi. We're going to be taking it easy heading into that Saturday forecast. So let's go ahead and walk through that Saturday forecast, because there are some big stories as we extend into our Saturday, primarily with temperatures, but also with that limited chance of rainfall. So as we build into our forecast, you can see by 7 a.m., still mostly clear conditions across North Mississippi, as will be the case into that mid to late morning time frame as well. But then you get this secondary front that's moving into the area right after the one we're getting over the top of us right now. So these back-to-back fronts are going to take, as Matt mentioned, hey, it's a little bit cold to, oh my word, get the layers, because it's going to be that cold of a pattern. 10:30, still with those mostly clear skies. That front bringing a little bit of cloud cover, but not going to be overbearing at all. That's just going to work its way through the region and cool us off once again on the backside, and really push out of the region by 5 and 6 o'clock. But there's your limited moisture. And I do expect a lot of this to be elevated, but I'm not ruling out a potential sprinkle or two getting into that late afternoon, early evening time frame. So if you're out in southwest Mississippi, have that rain gear ready. But if you are along Houston or Amory, I wouldn't be surprised to see a few drops your direction as well. That's 6 p.m. on Saturday. Right after this front has cleared, though, we'll see drier conditions push in, and those cold temperatures we kept hinting at all week long. 60 degrees in Tupelo, 55 Senatobia, and 60 in Grenada for your Saturday afternoon. 63 around Macon, 65 Kosciuszko, so still above average for where we should be this time of year, but that all ends getting into our Sunday, and you'll see right here. So as we get into our futurecast, you can see 8 p.m. still mostly dry across the region. Cloud cover building in, but that cloud cover not going to be around forever. And there's that little batch of moisture that I expect to see a few drops from by the time we get into those overnight hours. But by then, all of our plans are done, and we should all be snoozing by that point. 6 a.m. though on your Sunday, breezy conditions out of the north. That's driving that Canadian air into our area, and that's what's really cooling us off into our Sunday morning. So Sunday, heading to those church services, we're talking about temperatures in the upper 20s. Feels like values could be in the teens to potentially low teens across North Mississippi with how breezy these gusts are. So make sure to layer up, and it's just going to be a brutal forecast. All those pastors, my dad, he's a pastor, and he would always leave the house at like 6 a.m. So pastors out there, I feel for you. I know it's going to be a cold one heading out the door, but you're doing the Lord's work, so you're doing it for the right purpose. So it should be a forecast that you can survive through the power of Jesus Christ. But 3 p.m. by Sunday, still with those clear skies across the region. That extends into the area by the time we get towards 6 p.m., so not expecting a drop of rainfall throughout our Sunday forecast. And you'd expect, with conditions being this clear, that we're going to warm up nicely by the afternoon. Unfortunately, not the case. As we take a look right here at our high temperatures, we're not warming up hardly at all. Looking at those high temperatures, going to be in the upper 20s on the far northwest part of the state with Tunica, Senatobia, and South Haven. I mean, that's as high as we reach. Again, these are our high temperatures. 31 degrees Clarksdale, 34 Greenville, and working our way into the eastern portion of our viewing area, 33 in Tupelo, 36 Amory, 40 in Columbus. That's not too bad, but yeah, it's going to be a brutal forecast all day long. Layers will be necessary. Sunday, honestly, a day where a lot of us just like to rest. Highly recommend that, and staying indoors where it's, of course, a little bit warmer. This weekend, you can see the drop, and yes, these are our high temperatures. It's that significant of a change. 58 falling to 33 degrees Sunday afternoon. Limited to no rainfall. It still remains the story, but temps continue to trend colder. We've had that the last couple of days, temp trending colder, and they just trended colder than what we were even expecting yesterday. And they trended colder yesterday than they did the day before. So this has been a forecast that unfortunately, it continues to get colder, and we just need to make sure to layer up because those cold conditions not only continue into Sunday, they'll stick around for the start of our Monday as well. And you see those temperatures, 16 degrees heading out the door. Potentially even colder than that in some spots. So if you do not have those layers, unfortunately, it's going to be a brutal forecast. Continuing into our Monday afternoon, only topping out in the low 40s. By the time we get into midweek, those temperatures have progressed into a much better direction, back into the mid 60s by Thursday. And as we head into our Ole Miss playoff game, 60 degrees by that afternoon time frame. I need to look at the time of the game, but yeah, 44 to 60 is not a bad forecast whatsoever. Still with those dry conditions. So as Tulane comes into town, should be a good matchup, and excited to see that here in Oxford. So if you're heading out to the game, have a great time, but that's of course next week's next week's blessing. This is our problem right now, and that's going to be that cold Arctic air moving into the area. We'll of course track that in more detail coming up at the 6 o'clock hour, and we'll of course talk to Matt on the latest with that parade development. He is out in Saltillo right now for our parade coverage. Again, a big thank you to MLM for partnering with us on that journey. It's been so much fun going across North Mississippi to see all the different parades. Got to go to Tupelo last weekend as well as Corinth, and I had a great time, and all the folks out there did as well. Got to work in a few parades this week over in Boonville as well as Amory, and now we're continuing that coverage in Saltillo tonight. It's going to be a fun one for sure, and we'll talk to Matt about those current conditions coming up here in just a moment. I'm trying to look at the chat, make sure I'm not missing anything. Let me make sure. All right, I see folks from all across North Mississippi. Again, a big thank you to everybody for watching and supporting us here at Mississippi Live Weather. We hope that you are heading to something fun tonight. If it's parade, fantastic. Let us know. Brenda, thank you. We appreciate that feedback. We've enjoyed giving the parade coverage, so I hope you guys, everyone has enjoyed it as well. But Brenda, I appreciate those kind words. As we work our way into tonight's forecast, it is going to be cooling off, but temperatures today have been phenomenal, and we will continue to enjoy that into those evening hours before the cold really sets in this weekend. Make sure to download that Mississippi Live Weather app to stay updated on the latest conditions here in North Mississippi and stay up to date on those broadcasts. We'll be back at 6 p.m. on your Friday evening, live from Saltillo and live from here in the Room to Room Weather Center. 10 p.m. also latest broadcast. We'll be walking through that weekend forecast in a little bit more detail, and you guys definitely don't want to miss out on that. It's going to be a busy one when it comes to temperatures, but luckily our skies stay pretty much clear and dry all weekend long. We'll have the latest look at that coming up here in just a couple of minutes. We'll see you back here for your fantastic Friday forecast.
Community is the way we find our strength and share our hope. It's the way dinner on the table brings a family closer together. It's the way we make sure his first chapter book is the first step on his path to greatness. It's the way we rally in hard times and rise back up stronger than ever. United is the way we come together so everyone can thrive. Join us at unitedway.org.